Welcome, guys. If you've seen on previous episodes, we've been talking to the author Albertjap here again today. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Now, after the last one we did, we got quite a few sort of messages, emails, and sort of things saying, "Who is Albertjap?" Yeah, which we answered a few last time, of course. But one of the main ones that we got was
everybody was probably asking, "Who is he?"
Well, yeah, most of them was wanted.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. How do you think I'm here?
but one of the things, yeah, exactly. This is where we're leading into. This is where we're going. I mean, one of them that sort of like kept cropping up all the time. Why patio?
I'm on the run.
Same. So we got something in common.
No, I'm here by accident, really. I left London in England in 2005 after the first book. Went off to become a professional writer and wrote all the other books in South Africa. And it was about 3 years ago I got the opportunity to spend some time in Hanoi, in Vietnam. And I lived in Hanoi and loved Asia and loved the food and loved the people, but didn't like the heat so much. It's very hot, it's in the city. And I had to go back to London 2 years ago to sign contracts and do various business things. And on the way back, I thought, okay, I'll come to Bangkok, take the bus down through Thailand, bit of a tour into Cambodia, maybe get the boat to Saigon, the slow train up to Hanoi, and I'll take a month to get there. My first stop from Bangkok was Pattaya, where I was checked into a hotel for 2 nights up at Wongamart.
Nice place.
Yeah, on Wongamart Beach. Got up in the morning, had no intention of staying longer than 1 or 2 days. Got up in the morning, went for a walk, found the beach, walked along, had some coconut with some coffee and breakfast. Now this is Cape Town in South Africa and Asia. It's everything. It's not so hot. We get the sea breeze, and so I've never left.
So I'm sort of comparing you to the guy that says to his missus, "I'm just going out for a pint of milk."
Exactly. Yeah, never went home. That's pretty much exactly what happened. They were waiting for me in Hanoi. I had people, I had property there, and I had accommodation sorted, and people were waiting for me, and I just never went. I stayed right here, and I think I've made a pretty good decision, and I'm still actually right here in Wongamart. I've just taken a place on Wongamart Beach, and I'm planning to stay for as long as I can.
What's your overall sort of plan here? I mean, I know that we spoke on the last episode about you retiring, and I mean, you've done that now, I take it, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, officially, I've got a retirement visa, certainly, and I'm retired as far as wanting to have to or needing to have to work. However, as a writer and as only 50 years old, there's a lot of life
And
left.
you never stop.
There's a lot of things to do, and it's not something you need great energy for. As long as you've got your fingers and your brain, I'll always think of something.
But surely being in Pattaya, I mean, I've been here over 10 years now. I mean, walking in Pattaya every day. Yeah. Surely there's a book there every day in Pattaya. I mean, there's so many things going on.
Yeah, if people are interested in specific cities and towns, I don't really write for that. I'm more write about history and write about world events perhaps and politics and certain things. One of my books last year, for example, I covered the 9/11 conspiracy, the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
And I went really into depth with that. I wrote a book that came out in about August, September called 9/11 Conspiracy. That's the kind of thing I'm doing. I understand what you're saying, but the stories that come out of Pattaya, a lot of the time, and I hope you agree with me, should stay in Pattaya.
Absolutely.
But really, I think it's a visual thing. Somewhere like Pattaya in this particular part of Asia, the photographs that I see people coming out with, producing books of photographs with some extraordinary
They're
images
amazing.
of life.
There's some amazing photographers.
Of life in Thailand in general, of course, but also of Pattaya, which is where I'm familiar, and Bangkok. And I think that's kind of best left there. I don't know if I've got a story about Pattaya. Maybe one of my novels in the future might be set there.
I mean, I did sort of pick up on one. I mean, reading some of your books, I did pick up on things, where, like we spoke to before, Money for Old Rope and Turn a Blind Eye, things like that. I mean, one thing that I did find out is like, or I think this is true anyway, to my best of my ability. And in Thailand, you say bakar or pen, yeah, which dates back to when the Americans were here and they used a Parker pen. Yeah, so it was that Parker and bakar. I think that's where the name. I mean, I find things like that interesting. Would you think that's sort of right? Do you like
I think that particular story is right. There's so many examples of that kind of thing throughout world culture, especially where the Americans are involved. They seem to have been everywhere and left part of their footprint behind. Thailand's got a lot more tradition, if you like, and spiritual tradition that dates back thousands of years. I don't think the last 40 or 50 years is perhaps where I would be. I tend to go further back on my subjects, yeah.
I mean, we must admit, though, I mean, being in Pattaya, I mean, if you've not been to Pattaya yet, you've got to get yourselves here because
for sure.
You've got yourselves so many nationalities from all over the world, and it's like anywhere in the world, they gel. They gel, so it's a good, like, it's a little meeting place, but with entertainment. There's a lot to see here. It's a good place.
I have found that. There's certainly a lot more of that in Pattaya and in Bangkok, where I find that other nationalities do mix more. Often when you go to somewhere like Spain or you go to South Africa, you find the English are sticking together and the Scots are sticking together.
Sort of like in their own little department.
And there's a German quarter over there and there's the Italians this side. or whatever. And I do find that Thailand, there is more of a mix. I have a lot more German friends, for example, than I probably have ever had, and Italians and that kind of thing. So yeah, I would agree with you there, totally.
All right, okay, so there you go. That's Paddy on how you got here. I mean,
By accident,
by
by
accident,
mistake.
by accident and mistake. That's probably sums up about 90% of the people that live here.
Probably.
but what a place to find and what a place to stay. Okay,
Indeed.
don't forget
No
Albertjap. Okay, got some great books, great read. Out in Thai now. One of your books.
What Caesar did for my salad is in Thai language. That's
Yep.
the only one, but I think there's 15 or 20 others that you can find on Amazon and all good bookshops.
There you go. And of course, his website's at the bottom of the screen now.
Ah, yeah.
Thanks for joining us this time, Albertjap. Love this guy, love his books. Take care and make sure you check him out. Bye bye.
Thank you.